Well, I used to have a bag or a box full of the bolts that I took off of it, and I don't even know where they are anymore. Which is why we're going to take a look at this thing today. It just keeps sitting around for years. Years. We're gonna make it go. We're gonna try to make it do something for me, so I can use it maybe today and not worry about fixing every little thing. Let's drag it over and see what's going on with it. I'll poke around. I've been cleaning up, you know, my stuff and trying to make, look, there's a pulley. That's good. There's the pulley we need. There's a belt. I remember the blade was a little verklempt. All right, let's go bring it over and blow it off. All right, hopefully water didn't get in here. Or maybe I just came off as I was rolling it. Oh, we're gonna find out. It feels like it's on a tube. That's good. Oh yeah. That's good. Like I said, we'll adjust it later. How are the other tires? I'll go around and check those. So the bolts are all nice and clean now, and I put some no-sees on them. Let's clean this first. It's not bad. I had lubed up in here in the bearing and checked it. It's good. I had lubed this a while back. Everything feels okay. So we're going to leave the brake on while we install this. But it seems like it's okay. Now I had a different blade that I put on that other newer version, and I tried it on here, it worked great. I tried this one on the newer one that I sold a year or two ago. This one seemed to wobble, and the customer said, "You got anything else?" It feels like it's, I think I knew a little bit more. So I thought I had balanced it. Let me go take a look at it before we mount it. I'm going to check its balance, just give it a closer look. All right, I use this tool. That's a nice little cheap tool. And I just kind of measured over here, just so you see, because notice I cleaned this edge up. And that one's, I mean, a little bit, I'm going to just kind of deburr it a little bit more. But over here, you see all the pocking? So, yeah, it's a little bit different. So, and this is the heavier side, so I'm going to kind of create that angle, clean all this stuff up. I'll recheck it. That could be enough with a blade this big to offset things. It doesn't look bent or anything, but we'll get some more use out of it. I'm glad I'm looking at it. These are the washers from Craftsman front wheel drive. Pretty nice. I got to drop the belt in, but I'm going to go measure it. Well, that makes life a little bit easier, especially at the end of the day. All right, little white mark on the belt. Let's find out. This is like a double-sided belt. It's not in bad shape. I'm just going to put a white mark. And you can get yourself one of these little guys, right? And like for seamstresses, whatever you call those things. You could do it two ways. You could tighten the belt like that and constantly pull it straight. I just kind of pull it relatively taut. Don't get crazy with it, right? We have some room on these machines if you're a little off. The thing is that some of these machines, as they get older, you may not find what you're looking for. I don't know. Okay, I haven't looked. Some of the stuff the snapper is starting to get a little. All right, so here's 60. So we'll put another little mark. Could be 73.5 to 74. Alright, got to put the emergency brake on and slide this over that way. Now that was stuck. Everything was stuck. It was really hard getting the emergency brake on too. So I'm just lubricating the hell out of everything. But watch. I want to put the emergency brake on before you put it up on its butt. It'll be a little bit easier. That's not bad, fellas. Just wipe it off with some solvent. I'm slowly wiping stuff off. And like I said, before we're done, we'll hit it with some chain wax, because that's a bit more of a, like a solid, dry, not solid, dry lube. I'm not thinking of getting tired. The machines are running, air compressor's going. So that's just a like a Scotch-Brite cookie, but it's a little coarse because this is rusted steel. Yeah, this needs to be replaced. You can see how it's slipping a lot. But it still drives the machine. They'll do that. There's like another friction clutch in here. And people say, oh, don't put grease. You know, I remember the last one I did. So many people liked it. And you get these stupid idiots that are like, don't put grease. What are you putting lubricant for? How do you free up something that's jammed? Right? What do you put? Sand in it? Stop it. I know that compressor's rolling. So I just want to get some chain wax in a couple of spots before we forget up in here. It'll be a little easier to get to. Yeah, that's good. Everything looks good though, otherwise. There else. A little bit on that, if we can get to it on that cable. I'd rather have something more liquidy on that cable though. Back here on the pivot. Let that roll in. On that guy in here, can we get to him? Yeah. It's one of those joints, you know, those knuckle joints. So I'd say everything on this side, I know I'm sticking my head in here. Everything on this side looks pretty good. This we can also get from the top. All right, now she's moving, good. See, I could have just shoved it all the way over to this side. You see, now that it's moving good, let's just wipe this up a little. Where'd that other rag go? Yeah, that's better. All right. Now we should be able to get it in no problem. That's what she said.
That's what she said.
Get in a little bit easier here now. Let it roll in. And it's out of the way of the disc. Let's try it here now. Oh, I want to be where you are. So I'm leaning too much. I'll get comfortable because I might be here for a little bit. You could take that off, but it's bolted in with the damn motor, right? So why bother? You don't need to. Bring this all the way down and then give it a turn. I can just kind of get my hand in here. That's another reason why you want the plug out. Hey, it's done. All right, it's on. So just make sure that it's on the pulley. If you want to hold it up with something, you know, you don't really have to. There's no other place for it to go, and you can reach in from up in here. You drop the deck. All right, well, I think we're done here, fellas. Let me just stick the rag in a few spots. All right, before we put it down, let's see if I can just put a hole to tie up this wire. They changed it later on. They put a big hole here, and the cable comes through because it's actually rubbing up against two other cables. So it's a stupid place. We'll have to address that later, but if I can just bang a hole in here somehow, do I have a way of doing that? What do I got? Just wherever is convenient, however I can get, yeah, that might work. Yeah, maybe, yeah, if I can keep it still. Yeah, that might work. Hold on. All right, let's see. So I tried, Robert Malice said that he saw a guy put some of this hose on, right, from vacuum. Actually, it doesn't work because it's not flexible enough. And look at how close it's going to come over here. You can't. So I left this piece on. It goes all the way over to the side. It'll protect this side of the gearbox, but you got nothing over here. That stuff is so flexible. That's why it's got to be the correct Briggs stuff, which we have, but when I'm ready, I'll take all this apart. In the meantime, so yeah, that's a useless idea. That it will not work. I just want to shove a little bit of lube into the box. I'm going to use the 1540 Rotelli T5. If we can get this out without destroying it. I don't know if we can. All right, we're just going to put, there's grease and stuff in there, but it's getting a little old and beat. But we're just going to put a bunch of squirts in. Let it do its thing. It'll lube it up. I'm going to put 8 squirts in there. And that'll help loosen up the grease a little. Because the grease gets dry. Yeah, it's grease. Alright. And again, just a few squirts in there. It's not too dry, although I do feel some dirt in it. There's something in there. So it's not too dry, so we're just going to give it a handful of squirts. 4 will be fine. And again, that'll loosen it up a little bit. Because the problem with grease is that on gears and such, it tends to fly off. And it flies away from the spinning, the rotation of everything. And it hits the perimeter and the walls, and it's everywhere where it doesn't do anything. It winds up doing that. It goes to every place except for where you want it. Yeah, let's see if we can get a second one in. Yeah, no problem. That'd be good enough. Just like I said, we'll be back in there hopefully this year. I mean, we'll see. I'm very busy. I'm surprised they even spent time to do this. I don't want to disable this thing or shove it in the corner somewhere. I need the room. And I'm anxious to see what it'll do. I think we're okay, fellas. Take a last look in here, and that's it. I already put the belt on, less the idler, the tensioner. You just basically attach it. I like to take the tensioner off to do it. So it's already on. I'll see you guys in a minute. Oh, there's a problem, huh? I guess that was a key that somebody lost. Oh, sorry, I hit the camera. Hold on, fellas. Can we get it? I bend a little bit, yeah. There we go. Alright, well, we got an extra key. So I tried to make a patch. I think the patch is too big. But all I have is rubber cement. And you really need to make a patch that... It's just a little too big. I should have shortened it. But yeah, the problem is over here. This was really dirty. And this is the problem with these kinds of rims and putting tubes in. You have to smooth out the rim and paint it and prime it. Any of these areas in here, anything sticking up, any little weld, pimple, zit will damage and, abrade. And particularly in this area, they all rip right in here. They all do. And this is a nice tube. So I'm going to go bring it outside. I'm going to clean this up, get it nice and clean. Oh, fellas, looking good. All right, this side's done. And it doesn't feel bad. I mean, obviously, I'll check it again. We'll do the other side. We'll just spend a few more minutes working this side now. All right, I polished this whole side. On here and in here, with the cookie. Here, I don't think, well, I might want to do this, because just kind of go over it with this guy. Just spend a minute. It's just a cookie. It's not a grinding disc, but just a cookie. So I'm going to go over it, make sure there's no burrs, nothing, and then the paint will actually soften it as well. Alright, it's the next day. This looks like it might work. It's had all night to glue up. I remember when I was a kid, I think I mentioned this, we used to do this all the time. Let's see if we're successful. All right, this is all nice now. It's dry, or certainly drying up. It takes a while for when you put primer, good thick primer on, and then Rust-Oleum products on. Even though they say they dry quicker, they just tack up quicker. It takes a while for them to really properly dry. And really, the word isn't so much dry. The word is harden, cure. Let's go put it on. Now you can see here, these bushings are starting to wear in here. Plastic. Here's what it is. We're going to put a little chain wax up in here. Up in this guy too. Might be able to get those. Well, there is a cotter, a welcome back cotter pin. cutter that was on there was like one little thing that was barely holding on. What size is it? There's the hole. Fellas, can you see the hole? Watch your face. Oh, that shot me. Let's see if we can get this on. Yeah, it goes right on. I gotta get the cap. I don't know what I do with it, but let's throw some grease in it. Just a couple of pumps. It's got plenty of grease in it, but I'll do the other one too. Same way we just did this one. Yeah, 3 pumps should do it. All right, I'll go do the other side. So just a last look before I lay it down. Any pivot area in here, chain wax, here, all up in here, down in here, in there. Okay, anyway, back here. Remember, when I put the belt on, I always like to take off this pulley. This is your sort of idler tensioner. So you take that out of your way, change your belt, and put it back. Okay. Any spot, we're going to get hit over here, here. Here looks good. Fuel's off. I'll put fuel in it. We're going to do the oil in a minute. This thing did run, but it was, you know, I don't know, a year or two ago. Up at here, put a little chain wax in here, or chain lube is good. Not sure where the bearing is for this, so I want to drew some oil down in that. I think I got to everything. Again, same thing on this side, and the area we did in here, and the other side as well. These guys, this area here, on this side, and on the other side. This I don't like, that wire's kind of hanging out there. That's something we're going to want to contend with. Look, it just sort of sits in this pocket. Maybe we can, yeah, maybe we can put a little tie wrap or something someplace over here. Can we do that? Maybe tie it up over here for now. Just, we want to keep it flexible because the deck goes up and down. So what I'll do is I'll drop the deck down, make sure we have full length, and maybe put a little tie wrap, bring it up, because it's kind of hanging in the way over there. So I'm going to do that. Just look around, general inspection. And that's about it. Let's fire this thing up. We'll let it run for a little bit. Oh, also put a little oil. I like to use oil in here, just motor oil and all of that. Okay, especially if it gets cold. Like if it's getting cold out and you use it in the cold weather, you don't want anything too crazy in that area. All right, down it here. Yeah, there's all kinds of little spots we can get to. So just give yourself a nice visual inspection. This is the area that I often say, make sure that's well lubricated. Also, you can get in from behind, over here. Right, you want to make sure you lube that, because that can jam up. All right, let me just do that wire. All right, I'm still having problems with that tire. But we just need to get it, drive it around. So let's get on it, put it on brake. Okay. All right, brake is on. We should be in neutral. I know the starter motor works, that we know. Choke, I think, is fully forward. We'll find out. That's a lot. All right, let it run. That motor sounds great. All right, we can pull the oil out. I don't remember what carburetor it was. I did this years ago. I rebuilt it on the channel. So we could use this, or it'll just pee all over the place. But let's loosen it a little bit first. But she hasn't had any kind of oil change in like forever. She sounds great, doesn't she? Really sounds good. Everything is working. We still have some issues. I got to order a tube. That thing's just going to pester me. I can tell you right now. It's just going to pester. There we go. Just this wire is a little bit in our way. Yeah, there we go. Let's see what we get out of it. That's not terrible. It's definitely hot. Good. It's dirty. All right, let's let it go. So not bad for a 10 horsepower. I should look to see if I can find a date on it somewhere. You know it's a flathead, so you know it's going to be older. For sure. There's a number up top. I'll have to record that at some point. Better to date it from the motor than anything else. All right, let it go do its thing. We'll let it drip. I'll take a quick break, and we'll come back out for another test. Look, it is dripping underneath. See? So we'll do that. There we go. That's not terrible. All right. We'll let it do its thing. Yeah, and that battery was one that I charged up from a machine I got in like last year or something, and it sat out all winter. But it's doing fine. There's just a bit of smoke, but that's because it was sitting on its butt. So that initial smoke was probably from that. All right, leave it alone. Hanker Tiber.
What do you want? No.
I tried cleaning the plug, but it was pretty dirty. I should have showed it before.
Tractor.
Yeah, tractor. How about not? We'll just got this off of Champion J19LM. It's off of Takumi 2-stroke old vintage Mikey got at a swap meet 100 years ago. They were like kind of mint, but I don't know what I would do. They look like the regular 4-stroke engine, except they're 2-stroke. Let's just throw this on and see what gives. Let me check the gap and put a little bit of no sneeze on that. All right, for these older engines, particularly mine, although I don't have much of this left. T5 semi-synth 1540, a little thicker. So synth blend, diesel, it's going to have more zinc in it and such. And it's the Valvoline 1030 semi-synth, high mileage, which that package is probably going to have things to swell the seals, and that's about it. About 50-50, although this won't fill the motor. This is a little darker. Now, of course, there's a blend of a little bit lighter. That's for trucks. That's for cars. So there's a different, what do they call it, an API or something rating. I've looked into it. I don't like additives, but this I'll do. All right, let me get this package in, and yeah, we'll get back to cutting. We'll do another quick test. All right, plastics are back on for the electrical box. I tied up that wire. Got the other side too to hold the battery in. We've got just about everything, you know, for the most part lubricated. The plastic that covers over the pulleys and everything on the bottom, that's on. I only lost one bolt. Probably was no good years ago. I remember losing one, or one didn't come with it. So I just put a Briggs bolt in. It's like a 1/4 So that thing was running sweet. So it was a couple years ago I did the, like I said, I did the carburetor, I did some wiring, I did a bunch of other things. Got a air fuel filter, a shut-off switch, air filter. So that should be good. I'm not going to bother with that. Let's give it a run. I would say this is a success, fellas. Take a little bit of getting used to. It cuts really good. It's up all the way on the adjustment height. I'm going to need to pull up a little bit more. I'll probably bring that in and tweak it. We have a little bit of adjustment over here. That's never been done. There's these chain adjusters and knuckle adjusters over here. So I'll bring it back up and do that. It's as high as it wants to go right now. I think it might even be, I tend to like it a little higher in the front than in the back, but these are things that we have to take care of. I got to keep an after this tire. It's a little odd dealing with the clutch brake when I want to sneak into something. It doesn't like that. It's uncomfortable for my foot and my ankle. I'll get used to that. Overall, it seems to work pretty good. There's a few things that I need to work out and bugs. There's a little bit of a problem coming up the hill over there. We need to do the clutch. We need to do the bellows. So we still have some things to do to this thing. I'm going to go have some fun. I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for hanging out in the garage.
What do I say?
Hey everybody, thanks for watching this episode of Arch's Garage, and I will see you on the next one.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching Arch's Garage, and I will see you on the next one. Is that good? Oh my god!
That was really
I need
good.
to watch
You
it.
see back?
Yeah, please.
All right, move,
This is terrible.
move.